Thank you very much, Acting Deputy President. And I too rise to speak about this travesty of our democratic process, because it is in the Senate that we have the appropriate place to review the decisions of government. It is in the Senate that we have a properly organised process to hear from both sides of the debate. We had a promise. This is another broken promise from Labor, because the Agricultural Minister, Murray Watt, did promise a Senate committee inquiry. Instead, the House made some very tokenistic inquiry. It was very dissatisfying for all of those concerned. It is shocking, the sense of despair and betrayal by the people of Western Australia who are involved in the sheep industry. But not just those people. It is sheep growers right across Australia who are now affected. They're affected with poor prices. They're affected with an understanding that those people who grow sheep in Western Australia, their business has been fundamentally damaged. Now, there's some proposal that you would be able to convert those sheep into manufacturing, into processed boxed meat. It demonstrates such a deep lack of understanding from both the minister and departmental advisers that they think that there's some equivalency between the live export trade and between boxed meat. It just isn't equivalent, and that's why we now have Australian beef producers also terrified, because before the last federal election, the Labor Shadow Ag Minister then, Julie Collins, and the Prime Minister of today, Anthony Albanese, committed to those sheep growers that there would be no shutdown of the live sheep industry. And instead, they completely reversed that in a deal with the Animal Justice Party for a by-election in Victoria. Now, I appreciate that politics happens, but for all of the beef producers who have now been promised that there will absolutely not be a shutdown of the live beef trade, you can appreciate that now they don't believe that. They absolutely don't believe that, and they are now wondering. They haven't got compensation for the last time this Labor cabinet shut down the live beef trade. They're begging for a settlement, an appropriate settlement, and now they're facing the very real prospect that beef is going to be shut down as well, that the cattle industry will be shut down. Now, last time that happened, it wasn't just Northern Australian producers, Northern Australian truck drivers, Northern Australian vets, stock and station agents, the small businesses in the communities that were so terribly adversely affected, but it was also the beef producers right across Australia when the market collapsed. And I don't know if people understand that for somebody who's in the farming industry, who battles climate conditions, who battles market conditions, workforce shortage, all of the things that you have very real challenges from, to have your own government attack you by ripping away such an important market, and you never ever make that money back. If the animal you have grown to provide great, high nutrition, sustainably grown food, if that takes several years, and at the ultimate point, the penultimate point when you hope to sell, if that market has been collapsed, there is no recovery from that. It takes years to get back on the same financial footing. And so I think that what we are begging is that the Senate is the place to do a proper inquiry of this review to ensure that Western Australian farmers, all of the affected businesses of trucks and vets and small communities, the children of those people who hope to stay in that industry and now will struggle to have the balance to their business enterprise to make it work, to give them a fair hearing, to have sheep producers in other parts of Australia have a fair hearing, and to ensure that farmers and farming right across the country has a sense that the Australian Parliament actually is prepared to give them a fair go. This is incredibly important, because it is only when there is faith and trust in our democratic processes that this whole place works. This was a broken promise to the farmers of Western Australia. The farmers of Northern Australia and the rest of the country are now terrified, And if we don't step in and hold a Senate inquiry, then this is a sellout to all of them.
Thank you, Senator McDonald.